AEW is reportedly being sued by a former talent. Also, we're going to talk about a potential new AEW signing and some confusion regarding that. And of course, we do got some WWE news. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ango Show. Yes. Alrighty, everybody, I want to kick things off with some WWE news. Just the other day, we were talking about AJ Styles heading to Pro Wrestling Noah, but it sounds like he may not be alone, and I definitely have some thoughts on this and the overall situation regarding the OC. PWInsider.com has reported that the belief among some spoken to is that Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows will likely go to Japan for the bout, where they will be in the corner of AJ Styles. Obviously, we know their history as the Bullet Club. Now they are the OC in WWE. Obviously, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are known in Japan. And I am excited about this. I am happy about this. I do think it is a good idea for them to head to Japan and accompany AJ Styles. But what I really want to focus on here is more so, what the hell are they doing on WWE television? Now, I get it. They have recently rekindled their relationship with AJ Styles, but it just seems like this group doesn't have any serious momentum. And obviously, it seems like WWE could be building towards that. But I do have to mention that I feel like these guys, ever since they were brought back into the WWE, they haven't really done anything of significance. And that's a very challenging and very difficult thing to grasp, because these guys are really talented. But not only are they really talented, they just had a lot of momentum prior to going to WWE. These guys were doing a lot of cool things prior to going to WWE. When they came back to WWE, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, it seems like Triple H will inevitably make the OC a big deal. And it's been a really long time since they've come back into the company. So this is where I get a little bit more frustrated. And I think one of the big things here too is like AJ and Cody has been such a wonderful feud to watch. Like, I want these guys to be more involved in it, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. And it's even crazier too, because we have to acknowledge the fact that they were in NXT doing some really cool things, but they didn't win tag team gold against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. So that's why I feel a little bit bothered by their whole circumstance in WWE. You know what I mean? I feel like Triple H has something really unique. Triple H loves factions. When is Triple H and the WWE really going to press on the acceleration for the OC? Mia Yim is kicking ass in NXT, but the same can't really be said for the main roster. And those four individuals are incredible. I do wonder if Mia Yim will travel to Japan with them. Not necessarily sure, but if you're the WWE and you want continuity between, you know, what's happening on your show versus what's also happening on Pro Wrestling Noah, I think it would be better if they packaged everybody together. I want to turn our attention to Megan Bayne. Megan Bayne is somebody we've talked about in the past. There's been reports that she signed with AEW. Now there is talk that she's actually not with AEW. According to a report from Fightful Select, despite the previous indications that she was still associated with AEW, sources close to Bayne have clarified that she actually has been a free agent for some time now. With that being said, Sean Ross Sapp did confirm through these sources that Bayne is currently not under contract with any promotion and is free to work anywhere she chooses. However, there have been developments indicating that AEW has reached out to Bayne recently. Now, with that being said, there has been some conversations about creative pitches and whatnot, but at this point, there hasn't been any ink to paper. Now, there's a very big reason why I'm talking about this. If you guys watch my channel, you know what I'm probably going to say. At some point, there was some stuff being said online that Megan Bayne was being sent to Stardom on behalf of AEW. And the opposition had basically come out and said, no, Megan Bayne is a free agent, while everybody believed that she was part of AEW being sent to Stardom in hopes of getting more experience. Now, with this news being brought to our attention, I think it is very clear and very obvious that the whole situation is truly confusing. The reason why I say this is confusing is because Megan Bayne is somebody with a ton of potential. She has the presentation, her in-ring work has improved tremendously, and she is somebody that WWE NXT probably would like to have. And she would fit in very well in the NXT women's division. At the same time, she is somebody that would fit in extremely well into the AEW system. So I don't know if there's confusion here, and maybe that's why WWE hasn't approached her. At least at this time, we don't know if WWE has. But you would think if she's been a free agent this entire time, why hasn't anybody swooped in and signed her? I also think it's important that we mention that AEW could have some very good potential with Megan Bayne, but it's hard to get excited about this. And I'm not saying this to be critical or overly critical of AEW, but this is a valid criticism. Camille Brick has been rumored to have been signed by AEW for months. And where the hell is she? That's a very serious question that we need to be asking. There is no rhyme or reason why people are rumored to have signed with AEW and then all of these months go by and they're not being utilized. And if you think that I'm being biased against AEW, what about EJ and Duca? This is a guy who is actively promoting AEW, but we don't see him on AEW television. And he was somebody that was rumored to have signed with AEW. Camille Brick, same situation. Megan Bayne, same situation. I don't know. Are people actually being signed to AEW at this point? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I think there's a lot of inconsistencies there. Megan Bayne's a hell of a talent. She'll do extremely well in AEW, but why she hasn't signed yet, I don't know. Speaking of AEW, we must talk about this. Kevin Kelly says that he is taking legal action against AEW. This is a very, very, very complicated and very weird situation. And obviously, it is worth discussing. But with that being said, there has been a lot of drama surrounding Kevin Kelly since his departure from AEW. And it hasn't really been talked about too much. But with that being said, he was speaking with Eric Bischoff. And we all know that Eric Bischoff tends to lead an anti-AEW conversation pretty much all the time. But with this being said, Kevin Kelly did confirm he was suing AEW after being fired by the promotion. We know that he was working on Collision alongside Nigel McGuinness, and then eventually was replaced by Tony Schiavone. On social media in March, Kevin Kelly noted that he had been libeled by Ian Riccaboni. Let's continue. It was believed to be Ian Riccaboni, and then essentially he was pushed aside when asked by someone on Twitter regarding not being utilized more. It was later reported by PW Torch that Kelly was released as his social media post cost him his job because he accused Riccaboni of sabotaging his career and of libel. Bischoff then asks Kevin Kelly, "What are you going to do? Are you suing them?" And Kelly says, "Yes, of course." Now, this is really interesting because obviously Tony Khan and AEW have a lot of stuff going on. Lawsuits are no fun. What will this lead to? I don't know. Is this going to have any merit? I don't know. We were not there. For some reason, Kevin Kelly and AEW have an issue. He clearly has an issue with Ian Riccaboni. What will this lead to? Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated. It's not good news for anybody involved because at the end of the day, whenever there is negative drama surrounding lawsuits, any person dealing with it, it's just not a good look. You would like to think that things could be handled amicably, but unfortunately, we all know in the real world, it just simply doesn't work that way. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.